Hey, what's going on, people? Knowledge here. A couple of you guys been hitting me up on Facebook or in my inbox asking for my opinion on this whole Raven-Symoné controversy that's going on. And if you guys are not familiar with what's going on with her, she recently did an interview with Oprah where she made some comments that were quite offensive to people, and it got everybody in an uproar, and especially the black community. And I wrote about it on my Facebook page yesterday. If you guys are not subscribed to my page, the link will be in the description box. Check it out. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tackle the two main quotes that cause a lot of commotion. I'm going to give you guys my opinion, my perception on it. I'm going to read you guys a short paragraph of what was said in the interview. I don't want to be labeled gay, Raven says. I want to be labeled a human who loves humans. In fact, Raven tells Oprah that she rejects the notion of labels completely in all areas of her life. I'm tired of being labeled, she says. I am an American. I am not an African American. I'm an American. The remark seems to catch Oprah off guard. Oh girl, Oprah says, shifting in her chair. Don't set up the Twitter on fire. Oh my Lord, what did you just say? I mean, I just don't know where my roots go to, Raven explains. I don't know how far back they go. I don't know what country in Africa I'm from, but I do know that my roots are in Louisiana. I'm an American, and that's a colorless person. You're going to get a lot of flack for saying you're not African American. You know that, right? Oprah asked. Raven puts her hands up. I don't label myself. I have darker skin. I have a nice, interesting grade of hair. I connect with Caucasians. I connect with Asian. I connect with black. I connect with Indian. I connect with each culture. You are a melting pot in one body, Oprah says. Aren't we all? Raven asks. Isn't that what America's supposed to be? Now, the first thing that I want to address when it came to the interview, I'm not going to throw Raven-Symoné in the coon box. And I know it was a lot of people out here, that it were in the uproar about it. They would say, oh, Raven-Symoné's a coon and, she's this and that. I'm not going to label her a coon because I do understand her perspective and where she is coming from. That being said, too, she also said that she does not want to be labeled as a gay American. Now, she singled out the fact that she doesn't want to be labeled an African American. I would have to throw her ass in the coon box because now what you've done is you've basically singled out being called African American as something that you don't want to be a part of, but you connect yourself with the gay society. So if it was from that perspective, I would have to say, yeah, Raven-Symoné is out here cooning. But she did say, I don't want to be labeled at all. And I do understand her perspective because there's been previous videos that I've done where I've said, and I mentioned to a lot of you guys out here that have been subscribed for me a while, that, I have mixed feeling about the term African American because I feel like what that is that's a way for us to mentally and socially be castrated into second class citizens. We don't see, white people labeled European Americans, but it seems like black people, which I consider us to be the most patriotic and us to be more American than anybody else, considering we built this country and the trials and tribulations that we have gone through since we've been in this country, from you listening to this video to all of our ancestors. I don't feel like we should be castrated or labeled African Americans when we pretty much are more American than anybody else. And I feel like if you're going to group black people as African Americans, then you need to have terms like European Americans. Why is it that black people have to be African Americans? It's almost like if you're saying, oh, okay, well, you guys are Americans, but you're not really that American. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the title of African American, mean you're kind of on the fence, you're American, but you're really not. And a lot of people don't pick up on a lot of these terms and how they're used to really socialize us as a people. And if we're going to say African American, then damn near everybody is African American, because everybody has some type of ancestry rooted back to Africa, even white people, and a lot of people don't talk about that. We all are somewhat connected back to Africa. So really, when you look at it, everybody should be labeled. We're going to use those terms. Everybody should be labeled African American. Now I'm going to tackle her second part. This is the part that, it kind of disturbed me, and it really showed the mindset of not only Raven-Symoné, but the mindset of a lot of our people within the black community. She said that she doesn't know her roots to Africa, but she knows she has roots in Louisiana. Now here you have a black woman who is of age to have common sense that should want to know more about her ancestry. She has the money to do the research, but yet she uses not knowing her roots to Africa as an excuse of not wanting to attach herself to that. And I found that to be, just really an example of how we have a lot of people out here that really lack knowledge of self. Don't care about their history, don't care about where they come from, don't even really want to know. But we have a group of people within our community that, get online and they can tell you the new J's that's coming out, or you got cats that's doing, a 3-hour search for, new Michael Jordan shoes that are coming out, or women online shopping for bags, and, or doing the research, looking for a certain type of hair wig. We can go out and we can do that, but we can't go out and learn our history and trace where we are from. And I'm not a hypocrite with this. I have went out and traced my roots. I have roots that I just found out about a year ago, rooted back to Jamaica. And see, I didn't even know that. But if it wasn't for me going out, and wanting to seek knowledge of self, and wanting to learn my history, and wanting to learn where I am rooted from all different angles, it took me, I had to take the initiative to go out and actually learn that about myself. And I think a lot of people out here within the black community, we don't care about our history, or we don't respect it. We idolize and we care to things that are not of importance. But when it comes to us actually knowing ourselves and knowing where we are rooted from, nobody wants to take the initiative of that. And that's why I think, we have, this, especially this new generation, my generation, and this generation that's coming up, we tend to think that, racism is a thing of the past, or, if you haven't succeeded here in America as a black American, you're lazy, or you're shiftless, or it's just something you're doing right. Or when we call out, we have cats like me that come out here and speak truth to power, and we call out things that are going on, or how racism and white supremacy is constructed to keep black people as a permanent underclass. You have people that come out and say, oh, well, you're just using that as an excuse, or you're blaming a white man, or you're not taking responsibility, when really it's cats like me that know our history, know where we come from, and sitting back and observing and understanding why a lot of this stuff is going on, why the media uses certain terms, why it's okay to gun down a black person willy-nilly and nothing happens, or justice is not served when wrongdoing is done to our people. So it's just, we live in a culture where our people, man, and of course I'm not talking about everybody, but a lot of a majority of our people within the black community, we really don't want to learn where we actually come from. And I think in order to combat a lot of situations that we deal with, or just issues that you're dealing with as a black American, you have to know your history. You have to know where you come from. You have to observe things. You have to not only respect your culture, but respect your history. And that's basically what I thought about this. I thought that I was disappointed in Raven-Symoné when she used that as an excuse of not attaching herself to Africa. But like I said, I do understand her not wanting to be labeled as an African American. But that's pretty much what I thought about. I want to get some of you guys' opinion on her comments. And I know everybody felt a different type of way about this, but I understand where she was coming from. but I also thought she said a lot of things that were ignorant too in in this interview. And another thing I noticed, she mentioned, the hair texture, and when we really sit back and listen to her words, what are you saying? Are you saying that because your hair is a different type of way that you somewhat can't be too associated with black? See, you have to read into a lot of different things that people say, and that people, really come out of their mouths and confess to the world, because a lot of times people tell on themselves. And I do think that, Raven-Symoné really lacks knowledge of self. But, I don't want to make this video too long. It's already over 10 minutes. You guys give me your feedback on what you felt about, what she said. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my Facebook fan page. But we got to learn our history out here. We got to start teaching our children their history. Don't expect the government or the public school system to teach your kids about themselves, because they're not going to do it. It's your responsibility to teach your children about their history so that they don't grow up having a mindset like this, or thinking that we live in a post-racial society, because we don't. And whether Raven-Symoné likes it or not, whether she wants to be labeled or not labeled, at the end of the day, people are going to see her as a gay woman that is black. And she can't get away from that. But I'm out. You guys give me your feedback.